He joined the Los Angeles Lakers straight out of high school in 1996, and it didn't take long for Kobe Bryant to join the ranks of the league's most sensational scorers.
There goes Kobe. Watch this play. Bryant takes his drive down the lane. A spectacular move. How did the kid do that? Bryant.
Kobe's giving the people what they came to see, that's for sure.
Kobe's a fierce competitor, and if you come in that game and he senses any fear in your team or the guy that's guarding him, oh, he's going to eat you up.
Here we got a dribble drive, change of direction by Bryant, slam dunk.
Woo! He went up to the rafters before he decided to put somebody on a poster.
I remember what Babe Ruth said, he swings big and he misses big. Same thing with me. I have no fear whatsoever.
In the first phase of his career, Kobe was half of the game's most powerful 1-2 punch. And his partnership with Shaquille O'Neal produced a dynasty as LA won 3 consecutive NBA championships. But with Shaq's departure, Kobe became the undisputed leader of a younger Laker team. And now he would take their offense into his own hands.
I try to come out and read the flow of the game, try to get guys involved early. So I might have, 2 points in a quarter. Once I see that I have to turn it on, I'll turn it on, and the points will just come in bunches.
Boy, he has really taken it upon his shoulders to take control of this game on the offensive side.
Once the ball starts rolling, it starts snowballing, and it becomes very, very tough to stop.
And in December of 2005, the Dallas Mavericks received a first-hand demonstration of just how explosive Kobe can be.
And now Kobe hit on his way. Bounces it anyway, even with the contact early.
So Kobe working his magic.
Scoring 15 points in the first quarter alone, Bryant was starting to sense it could be one of those nights.
He's shooting jumpers. I'm talking about fadeaways from 20 feet.
Kobe on the crossover. Got it again. 32 points and counting for Kobe.
Oh, my goodness.
Three-pointers from halfway to half court.
Now Kobe, deep three. Got it! He's got 46. Lakers lead by 19.
He has put on an absolute offensive clinic.
Any which way you want it, he was giving it to you that night.
Is he the eighth wonder of the world? Tonight he is.
We tried pretty much everything. We double-teamed them, we triple-teamed them, and he kept on coming.
Kobe doesn't have the numbers, but boy, he's trying to make his own statement. On the reverse, he does.
That's why I said.
Lakers by 21.
I said, watch this. I knew what he was getting ready to do. I knew
That was disappointing for us, but there was nothing really we could do about it.
Now Kobe for three. I don't believe it. Incredible. 95, 61. Adds to his career best. 62 for Kobe.
I take it back. He is good, but he has more than Dallas has.
He hit us for 62 in 3 quarters, and that didn't feel good at all.
He has destroyed the Mavericks. Outscored them by himself. I've never seen it done. 62 for Kobe and 61 for the Mavericks.
That's why he's the best scorer in this game right now.
The display against Dallas was just the beginning of a remarkable run that electrified the NBA. Kobe would score 40 or more points 7 times in the month of January.
Now Kobe with a larger Granger on his back. Kobe into the paint, tripped up. He'll get it anyway. Lakers take the lead. Kobe hits 40 again.
But as the Lakers prepared to face the Toronto Raptors on January 22nd, there were no indications that Kobe was on the verge of doing anything special.
All the way up into the warm-up line, I felt awful. You know, my knees have been bothering me. I felt stiff. All of a sudden, the game starts, and I just get in one of those zones.
Kobe reverse layup to score.
Well, it didn't feel like the basket was this big, but it was a different kind of a zone. It was like a relentless type of a zone.
Here's Kobe trying to move around Mo Pete, trying to put him up. Finally shoots, counted in the foul. You talked about him being in one of those zones. Yeah. He's definitely in it right now.
It's not a good feeling knowing that you can play good defense and he's still gonna make a shot. Definitely doesn't make you feel good.
Now to Kobe. He pulls up for a three. Yes. Kobe's got 44.
It was kind of like that attitude. You just refuse to lose, by any means necessary.
Knocked away by Kobe. Great hustle by Kobe. He's going to score. And dunk, Lakers lead.
Well, that's 51 for number 8.
Single-handedly bringing them back from an 18-point deficit. Let's not lose track of that. Yeah.
That's a zone. Where your team is down 18 and your willpower lets you hit 5 threes in a row.
Here's Kobe again. Yes, sir.
He knew if you looked on his face, every shot was going in for him.
When he gets into this particular type of a zone, there's really nothing you can do.
Oh, Kobe counted foul. Kobe's got 59.
Sometimes if a guy's beating your best, you just have to, take it like a man.
67 points, a new career high, and 4 away from Elgin Baylor's Laker record. For 3 again. Yes!
Well, there's 70.
70 points for Kobe. Everybody wants it to get into Kobe's hands. Kobe guarded by Mo Peterson. Kobe pump fake for 2. Kobe's got the Laker record.
72.
Listen to this crowd.
And he still wasn't through. Kobe would reach a total surpassed only by Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game.
Kobe Bryant, 28 for 46 from the field. This would be 18 for 20 from the line and an 81-point game.
Nobody believed it. Somebody got his phone out and checked it on the internet and said, yeah, he really had 81. It's amazing. The zone he was in.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have witnessed the second greatest scoring performance in NBA history.
I thought it was a mistake, actually. I saw 81, and I was like, no, that's not right. I thought it was a typo, definitely a typo, but I was amazed.
I couldn't even dream of this when I was a kid, just no way possible. It's just a blessing from above to be able to play this game.
Wow, that's going to go down in history. 81 and 2005, 2006, doesn't happen.
People don't even give the 60 points the credit it deserves. How hard it is to score 40, that doesn't get the credit it deserves. And to hear someone do it, to do 81, that's above and beyond anything I could have imagined in modern day.
Hey, if I was coaching that game, I would have went in at halftime, put my jersey on, and went out there and tried to tackle this guy. Kobe was taking his every time down, and you can only applaud a performance like that.
They're chanting your name. It's fun to play here. These are our people. These are our fans. And it feels great to put on a great show here at Staples Center and see if we can't get some more W's in the process.
This is my craft, This is what I do. I love to do it. This is my job, and as a professional, I have to try to learn everything I can about the game of basketball. And I put a lot of thought into it. I take a lot of time to try to become the best basketball player that I could be to help us win ball games. This is what I do.
select Kobe Bryant from Lower Merion High School in Pennsylvania.
timeouts left. The Lakers have 2. Bryant to shot.
force her to do anything against her will. I'm innocent.
Bryant with the save. Oh, you gotta get a shot here. Final seconds. Bryant for the win. Bangs!
In the second half.
Kobe Bryant throws it down.
Against McGrady.
Spectacular jam. Kobe Bryant reverse slam dunk. By Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant.
Welcome to a special Kobe Bryant edition of The Insiders, brought to you by Radio Shack. I'm Deb Kaufman, so pleased to be sitting alongside the coach, Fred Carter. On this night, we're going to be talking about Kobe all night, but give me first your reaction when you saw that he'd scored 81.
You know, Deb, I was really I didn't believe it. I was stupefied. And I heard it on the radio. And the sports comes on every half hour. So he said 81, and I thought maybe he made a mistake, like a typo, but this was like a talking error kind I make. Well, it wasn't that. Next time around, he talked about it in depth, and he said he had 55 in the second half. Kobe, what are you doing? You can't get 55 in a halftime. So those are my thoughts. I was stupefied.
So what's the single greatest achievement that you've seen up until this Kobe 81?
It was Wilt's 100, of course. But I think if you take Wilt's 100 and you look at Kobe's 81 and you start to dissect them, first of all, you look at Wilt took 63 shots to get 100. Kobe takes 48 shots to get 81. Now, keep in mind, Wilt played closer to the basket. He was able to dunk the basketball. We've seen clips of Wilt catching shots and guiding them in. He got offensive rebounds. He got tip-ins. He got dump-offs. Well, Kobe had none of that. This was on its own volition. Here's a guy double-team, triple-team, but was able to score, and he played farther away from the basket. Is the feat greater than Wilt's? And believe me, trust me, I'm a Wilt Chamberlain fan. I think it's greater than Wilt's.
Well, in Wilt's time, he got the 100 points at a time where teams were averaging 111 points per game. So it was obviously a totally different era. And where are you willing now to put this Kobe Bryant performance in terms of historical perspective?
In the new millennium, this is the greatest performance in basketball history. And I think everybody's going to go out now and start having Kobe steaks. They're going to order Kobe beef, I thought about the song by Elton John where he sings Benny and they just, Benny, Benny. He keeps going on and on. I might start singing Kobe, 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 because I said it 3 times, but now I need to say it 5 or 6. Now think about this. One last thought. Usually you see a guy hung 40 on a team, or he lit him up for 45, or he dropped a cool 38, or he dropped a double nickel, or he electrified him with 39. Well, what do you say when a guy got 81? And I thought about it. I said, well, he Kobe'd them. He did a Kobe. So from this point on, everyone that gets close to that, I guess they're going to say he Kobe'd them.
Well, if you're in a gym by yourself, it's not easy to score 81 points without anybody guarding you. Just the pure stamina of it and the fact that he was able, time after time to come down the floor, possession after possession, and just hit shot after shot. How difficult is that?
Deb, you said that well, and I was just talking to the Hall of Famer, Gail Goodrich, about that. I said, Gail, you and I both know it takes a lot of stamina and toughness and ability to get shots. But for what Kobe did was, it's mind-boggling. And he said, Gail said to me, well, Fred, how many shots did you get in the ball game? And I said 37. He said, you got that many? I said, come on, Gail, I know you were a volume shooter. He said, yeah, Fred, I may have gotten about 40 shots in the ball game. So you're right there. It takes a tremendous amount of stamina, mental toughness, and game to be able to get that many shots. And you got resistance. If I'm in a gym by myself, after a while I get tired. I lose my concentration. I can't continue to make shots. Kobe continued to make shots. And
if you're the Toronto players, as you're watching this, what are you thinking as he comes down and he's going to have the basketball?
Well, that's a snapshot that they don't want to be in. You talk about guys getting in the picture on a dunk. Well, last thing they want is something like this hung beside their name, because in history, they will say that Kobe dropped or got a cool or got a feisty or he just did a Kobe to Toronto and dropped 81 on them, and that will be the picture. Those guys don't like that.
What a scene this was in L.A. last night at the Staples Center. Interesting, Jack Nicholson was a no-show. Probably the one game he missed all year. Didn't get a chance to see it. The people that were in the building, the PA announcer even said as Kobe finally went back to the bench, he'd scored his 81. There was 4.9 seconds left to go. The PA announcer even said, save your ticket stubs. The players in the locker room afterwards, some of the people on the staff were having Kobe autograph their game sheets and their score sheets. Really a night to have witnessed history. How about the people in the building?
Oh, they've got to really have enjoyed that. And, Jack's statement, Kobe must be the truth. Jack wasn't there, so he couldn't handle the truth.
Right, exactly. What was that movie? A Few Good Men?
A Few Good Men.
So A Few Good Men on the floor in this one. And even his teammates, and there's some danger we've talked about as Kobe continues, his scoring numbers continue to rise. Some danger that his teammates become spectators, that it's a problem for the team in the end as they start to watch him just play. But, everybody, I guess, was watching him last night.
They certainly were, and I hope that they don't become Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5, where they become pedestrians and watch Michael sing or watch Kobe play. But you think about the performances yesterday, and you think about T-Mac getting 43 in Detroit against that tough Pistons team, or Ray Allen getting 40, they've got to feel mundane. They feel good. They got 43 and I got 40, and all of a sudden, here's a guy who just doubled your numbers.
All right, here's someone who got to watch this from with a courtside seat. Jim Byers, who covers the Toronto Raptors for the Toronto Sun. It's Deb Kaufman and Fred Carter in New Jersey. How are you tonight?
I'm pretty good, thanks. How are you guys?
Have you recovered from the game last night?
No, not actually. I haven't. It was exhausting. It was one of those just frenzied, crazy sort of things, and you're trying to keep an eye on your own team, being from Toronto and all, and what the Raptors are doing, and they're up by 18 at one point in the third quarter, and I'm typing up and looking up, and Kobe's on fire. Oh yeah, he's made 6 of his team's 7 shots. Nope, 7 of 8. Nope. Then I'm writing 8 of 9, 9 of 10, 10 of 11. I couldn't keep up.
So we do want to be check our facts here. It's the Toronto Star, so we want to make sure that we get that right in case your boss is watching.
Correction, but that's okay.
So as this is starting to unfold and you're seeing Kobe hit shot after shot, at what point did you realize you may be watching something historic?
I think it was probably around 3/4 of the way through the third quarter. I don't remember when. Actually, no, I think it was probably the one play there. I think he stripped the ball from Mike James. I'm not sure who it was, but it was just before the midcourt. He kind of stumbled over midcourt, and I'm thinking the guy's got to be gassed, right? And he just kind of falls all over himself, and he still manages to recover and strolls down the lane, thunder dunk. And the place was going crazy, and I thought, oh my goodness, here we go. So it was. I think that was probably the turning point for me.
Jim, tell me about the Toronto players. Did you sense frustration out there on the floor that there was nothing they could do to contain Kobe?
Absolutely. To me, they just looked completely bewildered and bewitched and whatever you want to call it. But they just looked stunned. And I think they really didn't know what to do. Coach Sam Mitchell said he tried a couple of zone defenses. He tried a box and one. He said, shoot, I haven't done a box and one since I was in college. He said, I'm not sure he could even remember exactly how it was supposed to work. But they tried just about everything. They tried a small lineup. They tried some quicks. They tried a couple of big guys. There was nothing you could do. I mean, Kobe sometimes was 3-4 guys all draped all over him. And he was still throwing up shots, and they were going in. And maybe it is one of those nights where you just kind of throw up your hands and say, look, there's nothing we could do. But after the game, Sam was, he thought the players had done a pretty good job, and he was protecting his guys, and I'll give him a lot of credit for that. The players weren't nearly as happy. They were very upset. Chris Bosh, in particular, thought that he and the other guys just didn't challenge Kobe enough. Mike James, who had not a triple double, but his third double of the year. Not that anyone
noticed. Right?
I think so. 26 points and 10 assists or something, and normally that gets you some headlines. And I don't think he even made it into the little small type at the bottom of the stories in our paper. But Mike said that he thought his team probably should have challenged him a little bit more, and he didn't say they should have thrown any elbows. But I thought the point he was making was that they should have been, maybe a hard foul or been a little bit more upset about it. But they seemed to play the old Ole defense, just stand by and watch him go. They had no answers, none at all.
I like the Ole defense because my expression is Ole it up. And that looked like, but tell me, did you sense like anger or embarrassment in the locker room? Because here's a guy that now, he did a Kobe on him. I mean, he drops 81. If he dropped or hung or baffled or whatever he did, 81. Were these guys mad and angry? Were they embarrassed?
I think they were more embarrassed and chagrined, if you like, than they were mad. I didn't sense there was kind of a steely kind of anger. It wasn't to throw stuff on the ground, but by the time we got in there, they'd had a chance to shower and collect their thoughts a little bit, and maybe they took their frustrations out on the soap dish. I don't know, but you'd have to think they'd have been a little bit upset by that. It's an embarrassment. There's no doubt about that. It's one thing if a guy gives up 40, you give up 47, 48. There's something about the half-century mark, I think, that sets you off. And when you look at it, at the history of the Lakers, Magic never did it. Shaquille never did it, which of course, Kobe would never admit this, but you had to know that Kobe was thinking he bypassed his old quote-unquote buddy from the Laker days. So, Elgin Baylor hadn't done it. None of these great players, Kareem hadn't done it. So I think he had to be a pretty special night for him, and that is embarrassing.
Michael never did it, and actually Kobe got that phone call from Magic Johnson in the locker room after the game, so that was the best part about the whole night. Can you compare this?
He seemed pretty touched by it.
Can you compare this historically to anything that you've seen in sports as a sports writer, not just in the NBA?
Yeah, it's a good point. I don't think so. I didn't. I do a fair bit of golf. I've never seen anybody go, 59. I didn't see Tiger's U.S. Open wins or Masters wins, when he wins those his majors by 8-10 shots in person. I've seen a couple of Super Bowls, some NCAA finals, and Toronto was a big deal, and for us in Toronto when Joe Carter hit his home run, that would be the closest thing that I've seen for sheer drama. There have been only a couple World Series that have been ended on a home run. I'm not quite old enough to have seen Bill Mazeroski do it for Pittsburgh. So I guess Joe Carter's would have been the closest thing where I just kind of looked up and thought, oh my goodness, what did I see? But that was a one-time, did the ball really go over the fence? Is the game really over type of thing? And this was a slow build-up at first. And what did he have, 27, 26 in the first half?
55 in the second half, so if we do the math.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. So, and you started to sense it, but it was a little bit more of a build-up and an, oh my goodness, is it really going to happen? And a little bit more sense of anticipation than it probably was with Joe's. But I think there's very little I've ever seen that could compare to that. And anyone that's that zoned in, it's just remarkable. And he really is one of the great athletes of our time.
Jim, there's been a lot of people talked about league MVP. Does this now elevate a Kobe Bryant up to this status based on his team's depth chart, which is low talent-wise, and where he's carrying his team, his numbers, and they look like they're going to be a playoff team? Does this elevate him to the chatter of potentially being a league MVP?
It's going to be tough, but I think it's going to come down to one of these things, Fred, where you always get these debate. And when I was doing baseball and had an MVP vote, I seldom voted for a guy that whose team came in third place or something. If they made the playoffs in baseball, yeah, you might vote for them. And obviously, it's harder to make the playoffs in baseball than it is in the NBA or in the NFL, some other leagues. That being said, there are a lot of guys that don't vote for, and women writers that don't vote for anyone that doesn't make it to pretty far in the playoffs. The reason being, or the thought being, that you can't be very valuable on a team that doesn't play well. That being said, if you're scoring 6 points higher than anybody else, and you've set the second highest point total in NBA history, that's going to make for a pretty strong argument. And Duncan's won it before, and Shaq's won it before, and barring anything else really crazy, you'd have to think he's even odds at best. And I don't know who the number 2 guy would be right now.
You talk about, so many people talk about the best player in the league. Some people say LeBron James. Some say, of course, Tim Duncan. Some people might say Shaq. Some people say Dwayne Wade. Kobe's performance over the last month was probably averaged about 40 points a game, if I can say that without smiling. Where does this rank him now in terms of his status in the league? Is this an email to the rest of the league saying that I'm number 1?
Well, it could be. I mean, he's certainly, despite his protestations to the contrary, obviously he's got some ego. Everyone that plays this game likes to think that they're one of the top players in the game. I think he's certainly sending a message, but I'm not sure if Kobe's overall game yet is to the level where you can make the comparisons with some of the other guys. I mean, Tim Duncan is not just a guy that can score. There are other players out there that might be a little bit more complete on both ends of the court. And I know even Phil Jackson said after the game, that's not really necessarily the way I want to win a game. I don't think it's Phil's. It's the way Phil likes to have his team play. He was out there giving Kobe a big hug and a high five on the court afterwards, and they seem to have patched over whatever the differences that they clearly had a couple of years ago. But yeah, certainly Kobe's sending a message out there, and that vote's going to be awful close. I don't have a vote, and it's just as well, because I'd have to strike the undecided vote right now.
Well, Jim Byers from the Toronto Star, I read it online all the time. Thanks for adding your perspective, an eyewitness to Kobe Bryant's 81 points last night, and I guess good for Toronto. They're right back on the floor tonight.
Yeah, I think so. That's probably the best thing. Just put it behind you and you get right back out there. We'll see if they suffer a Kobe hangover tonight.
All right, thanks so much.
Lakers is giving it to Kobe. Attacks out of the left wing. A head fake, pulls up 60, battles it down. A new Lakers franchise mark.
The voice is a familiar one here at NBA TV. Spiro Diaz, the voice of the Lakers on the radio. He hosted this show, The Insiders, many, many nights. We had to wait for a special occasion to bring him in. And I guess this qualifies. Spiro, it's Deb Kaufman and Fred Carter. How are you?
Hey, guys. How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Well, good to talk to you. At what point last night did you get the sense that you were witnessing history?
I think in the third quarter, Deb, he scores 27 in that quarter. And I look over at Michael Thompson, my partner, a guy who's Magic, and obviously when Jordan, saw some of the greatest performances that we have seen, definitely in my generation. And, Michael had this little giddy smile on his face, like a little school kid. And, as soon as he started losing control of his emotions, I felt like it was going to be a special night. I mean, he goes for 62 just a month ago, so we kind of, knew what that experience is like. But 81 is something that's beyond the realm of, even something that, Michael had thought that Kobe could do, and I think he's been Kobe's biggest supporter through this whole thing.
What's the most impressive part about what he did as you watched it? What was the most impressive thing about it?
That he just kept coming back. I mean, they were running different defenses at him, and I know Sam Mitchell's taking a lot of heat today for, for maybe not mixing it up enough, but I just think he was too limited, Deb, with what he had, personnel-wise. I mean, there's just not a defensive stopper on that team. I know Joey Graham, the rookie, is a guy that they're hoping can evolve into that guy, but, Kobe was hot. He had it going, and I think he sensed at halftime, Deb, that, he had to step up and really take that game over because they were so lethargic in the first half. We were just kind of wondering on air what was wrong with them. I mean, this is a team that can't afford to lose any games at this point, certainly not to Toronto in their home building. And, Kobe takes abuse, I think, from people who feel like he's still selfish. But last night, I tell you what, they needed all 81 of those points to win because they were down by 18 in the second half. They had nothing going.
Spiro, it's amazing how those naysayers that think he's selfish, they don't quite know and understand the player and his mentality. I think their thoughts are because they claim he had Shaq moves, so he could be his team, he could be the man, and he'd already run titles. But my question to you is, as you watch the game, and you and I have sat and talked basketball forever, what did you think?
I didn't know what to think, Fred. It was like a dream. I mean, I heard myself say 72 points, and it's not something that you ever think that you'll be a part of. I tell you what, I mean, the first half, it was so dead in that building, and, I looked at Michael and said, my God, I mean, this place it's like a mortuary here. And then, he comes out, scores 55 in the half. I mean, I think everyone in that building, guys, knew that they were witnessing something that's historic, and, the same way they talk about Wilt as 100 points as, something that's unfathomable as that is. I mean, this is something I think everyone sensed that they were going to be talking about for years and years. I mean, people had their cell phones out trying to take pictures of it. I mean, they were standing on their seats. No one left that building, and, people were standing up for the last, I'd say, 15 minutes of the game, of game action. It was a surreal setting and something that we're going to be talking about for a long time.
Well, I'll tell you what, Spiro, I really appreciate your description of what was going on because that's a great picture that you painted for us. And in talking about the game and Kobe, now, we've heard the expression, you've used this yourself, that, well, he dropped 40 on someone or he hung 38 on them or he lit him up for 49 or he, whatever. Well, what do you say when a guy gets 81?
You just tip your hat, Fred, and you just you soak up his brilliance because to me the talk about Kobe being selfish and taking shots here from Lakers fans. I mean, it's amazing. Even today, you put the radio on here in LA, and some people are still hating on him. I mean, I want to use another word, but I think that's the best word that comes to mind. I mean, to me, Fred, as you know Kobe. I mean, you knew him as a young guy in Philly. To me, he's won 3 championships. No one said that he was a ball hog during that time with Shaq. I just think he knows his personnel, and he feels like on certain nights he needs to come out and score 40 to 50 points, not necessarily 81, but I think Kobe needs to be trusted by Laker fans and understand that he knows what his team needs on a given night. And last night they needed scoring, obviously in bunches, and he felt like he needed to provide. And to me, that's just a sign of a great player. So, just soak it in if you're a Lakers fan. Absorb what he did last night because I don't think we're going to see that for a long time.
It seemed to mean a lot to Kobe that Phil Jackson came out and gave him really a warm embrace and said, I'm really proud of the way you played. It seemed to mean a lot to Kobe that he heard from Magic Johnson in the locker room after the game. How about his Laker teammates, though? What were they all saying after the game, Spiro?
I mean, all his teammates, Deb, they're all just in awe of the guy. I mean, I think Lamar, almost to a fault, Lamar tries to stay out of his way. And I think the one thing that you sense from Phil, even last night, I mean, everyone else was all smiles and just really in disbelief. And I think Phil was that too. But I think Phil really is looking more long-term than obviously everyone else. I mean, he's the head coach of this team, and he knows that for the long-term growth and development of these young guys, they can't have this team on Kobe to score 50 points a game. It's just not realistic. And so I think that kind of held Phil back a little bit with his emotions. But I think he certainly appreciates what he has. I think he got to see Jordan for a lot of years up close, and I think he's going to appreciate having a guy like Kobe now. I think he certainly does that right now. But again, I just think he has his eye down the road, and I think Phil at some point here is going to try to shake this thing up and try to get more out of guys like Lamar, who has really been inconsistent. A guy who always kind of leaves you thirsting for more, and they got to figure out how to get these other guys, the supporting cast, developing and really making more of an impact for these guys.
Spiro, you mentioned that. Of course, I knew Kobe when I was a kid, and Kobe and I used to sit in the Spectrum back then before it was Wachovia and watch the Sixers play. Little did I know that this guy would one day, Deb, drop 81 in a ball game. But that being said, I guess Spiro, my question to you is, you're probably looking forward to the next game for Kobe to see what he's going to be like come the next night.
Yeah, Fred, all of a sudden that Lakers-Golden State game is like the new hot ticket here in L.A. I mean, people are afraid not to come to Staples now for a home game because they don't want to miss, a night like last night. I mean, last night's a Sunday game. I heard stories today of people, giving away their tickets. I mean, that's the one game that, season ticket holders say, yeah, you know what, I'll stay home. It's a Sunday night, got work tomorrow. It's the start of a work week. Let me just hang out at home and give these tickets to someone who doesn't get a chance to go see him. And those people obviously just had their years made, just having a chance to witness that last night. So, I mean, you're right. There's a buzz with this team, and this is a team that's only 3 games over 500. So I think that adds, to the aura of this guy and his greatness.
I don't think Jack Nicholson will ever live it down that he missed the game last night, Spiro. He's bumming today. All right, well, if he gets 100, will you come back on with us next week?
Absolutely.
All right.
Anytime, guys.
It's a date. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Spiro.
Thanks, guys. Nice talking to you.
Spiro Ditas has got something to watch in the next game, that's for sure.
That had to be a fun game for him.
Well, yeah, and to a bird's eye view of Kobe Bryant, really the whole season he's been a show, and then the 81 last night. We'll take a quick break and continue with more on the Insiders right after this.
Kobe a head fake, right wing 3, guarded by Rose, pulls up, right wing 3, again! 67 for Bryant.
Wow. Laker owner Jerry Buss said it was like watching a miracle unfold. The story of the night, Kobe Bryant goes for the second highest point total in NBA history, 81. A look back at a piece of history now from Staples Center.
Not even in my dreams. Not even in my dreams. It's something that just kind of just happened, man. It just happened. It's tough to explain. It's just, I don't know. It's just one of those things.
He's got 10 already.
10 points in 10 minutes.
I was just determined, just locked in, just tuned in to what was going on out there and just blocked everything out and just zeroed in on being more aggressive and just setting the tempo.
17 right now with the Lakers 35.
Yeah, that's why I turned it on because I felt like we were a little lethargic. So I just started going full bore, and it just turned into something special, and I wanted to keep riding the wave to try to demoralize our opponents.
Kobe has been going, and he keeps it going. Kobe's got 28. Kobe, 30 points. Go ahead, guys, get on my back. We'll see what we can do. 35 for Kobe, and we've got 8 minutes to go in the third. One of those nights, huh? Kobe again! You talked about him being in one of those zones. Yeah. He's definitely in it right now.
When he gets into this particular type of a zone, there's really nothing you can do.
Crowd's starting to sense it too as he builds up to 47 now.
I feed off of that, The crowd gets into it, especially here in LA. We're kind of, going from the bottom to the top all together. So it's important for us to enjoy the journey, and that's what we're doing right now. We're on the journey. And, to put on a show like this for the fans here in LA, it's truly something special.
Well, that's 51 for number 8.
I grew up in front of these people, and now they're seeing me as an older young man.
Kobe, nobody helping right now defensively, so he'll take the 15-footer. Kobe's got 57. Oh, Kobe counted foul. He'll go to the line, try to complete a 3-point play. Kobe's got 59. Kobe goes straight to the dribble in the lane, lay it up and in. Kobe Bryant, he's got 61 points.
Trying to figure out the odds of him getting to 75 or so.
For a career high for Kobe.
Kobe a head fake, right wing 3, guarded by Rose, pulls up, right wing 3, again! 67 for Bryant.
Wow.
Right wing Bryant, 9 to shoot, gets the strength, pulls up, right wing 3, buries it! 70 for Kobe.
What did you say? 70?
Kobe pump fake for Kobe. Kobe's got the Laker record.
New Lakers franchise mark of 72 points for Kobe Bryant.
But to sit here and say that I grasp, what happened tonight, I'd be lying, man. I really hasn't sank in.
History tonight at Staples Center. I see it. Here's number 1. Do you believe it? This one would be to tie Wilt for number 2, and the next one would be to pass.
Nothing that needs to be said about this game.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have witnessed the second greatest scoring performance in NBA history. He's Brown for 80. Kobe Bryant, 28 for 46 from the field. This would be 18 for 20 from the line, and an 81-point game. 55 in the second half.
It really hasn't, set in. It's for me, it's about the W.
81 for Kobe, an astonishing night here in downtown Los Angeles.
It's fun to play here. These are our people. These are our fans. It feels great to put on a great show here at Staples Center and see if we can't get some more W's in the process.
It was more special to me than even the game itself. Was talking to Magic after the game. That meant more to me than the game itself. Because I idolized him as a kid. And for him to call me and tell me what a great game it was and how proud of me he is, that meant more to me than the 81 points.
81 points, your final thoughts as we close out the Insiders.
Kobe, Kobe, Kobe.
Those are 3 thoughts. No, it's 1 thought. And can he do it again?
No, he can't. But you know what's amazing, though? I think, when you score 40 in a game, then you think next time you can get more. So what does he think he can get now? Is 50 easy?
Well, he said 100 would be unthinkable. So he's thinking about Wilt. I think he can do it again. We'll see. Thanks for being with us.
Sober Sound Part 1. Now, Part 2, are you ready? Do you want to hear?
Before I was born, you got a poor child coming, and the world's gonna know. Got my black hat gold, got my mojo too. Get all you can win. I'm gonna mess with you. To my mother, before I was born, you got a poor child coming, and the world's gonna know. Got my black hat gone, got my mojo too. Get all you can win. I'm gonna mess with you.
Part 2, are you ready? Do you want to hear? Part 2, are you ready? Do you want to hear? Part 2, are you ready? Do you want to hear? Part 2, are you ready? Do you want to hear?
One star who was the brightest of them all. The most valuable player of the Las Vegas 2007 All-Star Game, Kobe Bryant from the Los Angeles Lakers.
Kobe reverse layup to score. Just getting going. Joe McDonald here in for Joel. Sequence alongside him. Kobe, another tough shot. Some of the rookies, of course, at this point hitting the wall halfway through the season as Kobe knocks it down. The other night, in fact, his worst shooting night in a month. Here's Kobe. Sweet move. A little bit in Milwaukee, then down in Houston. He's one of those guys that everybody wants. 57 straight. Make it 58.
He's up to 58. 59 now.
59. Double-double just about every night. Kobe is back in and not a moment too soon. Kevin Jordan guns it to Pim. Little backdoor. Kobe scores on the slam. Knocks down the three with regularity. Kobe trying to answer back for two. We'll go to the side story when the Lakers are down by 14. That's what, now 61 in a row? Did I do it? Yeah. Is it my fault? The scoreboard says 60-49.
All of the Lakers have to get going offensively.
Kobe has been going, and he keeps it going with the backhand layup. Bryant again for the Lakers. Kobe baseline, got it again. This yo-yo in the dribble. Stops at the top of the key.
Well, they're giving him the ball to see if he can add to it.
Yes, he does. Still 6.5 to play in the third. He pulls up for a three. Yes! Kobe again. Here's Kobe trying to move around both feet, trying to put him up. Finally shoots, counted in a foul.
Decides to go up with him, gets him on the arm.
Here's Kobe again. Yes, sir. Kobe all the way. Reverse layup is good. Knocked away by Kobe. Great hustle by Kobe. He's going to score. And dunk, Lakers lead. Oh, great pass. Kobe alone, slam dunk.
We're all geared for you.
Void of all the trouble. Nobody helping right now defensively, so he only takes the 15-footer. Kobe counted foul. Kobe goes straight to the dribble in the lane, laid up and in. Well, his average tonight, you would think. His average is... Kobe with it now. Lakers lead 105-96. Another three. 4 away from Elgin Baylor's Laker record. For three again. Yes!
Well, there's 70.
Pump fake for two. Kobe's got the Laker record. Oh, my goodness. I see your point, though. Kobe down the middle. Up and in. Second. 27 in the third.
I see it.
Here's number one. Do you believe it? This one would be to tie Wilt for number 2, and the next one would be to pass. For the night, at least. 12 for 80. This would be 18 for 20 from the line, and an 81-point game. 55 in the second half. Ladies and gentlemen, you have witnessed the second greatest scoring performance in NBA history.
Close it all out. Man.
Just make the game so much easier. You know, we had some weapons before. Now we just added a huge one to the team, and we get big buying them back. It's you know, there's a God. There is a God.
Got it. it up. Kobe! Kobe on the slam. Kobe over Bowens. Kobe weaves his way and slams his way to the rim. Kobe flash right on him. He burned him. Contested.
Kobe Bryant takes off from the elbow. Right guard Kobe, spinning, scoring.
Kobe over Dudley. It'll be Kobe. Tomahawks it home.
I'm really happy and satisfied and thrilled to be in this situation and have this opportunity and have these wonderful teammates and be in this great organization. The excitement around the NBA, how tight and competitive is the Western Conference right now, and how big is every game, and it's going to be from now on.
Everybody's talking about this game. This is what you play for. This is one of those special games, one of those statement games Pat Riley used to tell us about when I was a Laker. These players need to embrace this because these kind of games don't come along too often.
You the best. Know that. Don't think it. Know it. This is our turn. This is our chance. This is our season. Go out here and make a statement. So it's our turn now. Let's go.
LA has everything going, and by the way, Kobe Bryant doesn't have the surgery on his finger, and he's rolling along at a great clip.
Well, I would say the last 4 games on the trip, come on. He's averaged 32 points a game. He's only shooting 49%. But we do know that he's playing with pain, and let's hope that he can suck it up and handle it over the remaining games.
Sizes it up, leaves Bell, and runs to the right side of the rim and racks it up. Kobe, from behind, reverses it home. Over Strawberry, Kobe.
What message were you trying to send there?
Oh, we're here to play. We're here to play. It's fun. We feel like we have a great opportunity, and it's important for my teammates to understand that we're here, and for us to believe in ourselves and not think we can do it, but know we can do it.
All right, thanks a lot. Congratulations on the win.
You got it.
It was a big game, and we wanted to make sure we came out for ourselves and feel like we can beat this team in the hostile environment with this kind of energy. My message to the guys before the game was, know you can do it. Don't think you can. Know you can do it. You should be playing with that kind of confidence.
We have a really, really good team. Very, very strong team. It smells familiar to me, so I'm very fortunate and very excited about what we can do here.
Lakers by 20. The Laker fans here in the Twin Cities.
They say it's alright. They say it's alright. Say it's alright.